Beyond Bitcoin Hangouts are meant to give everyone a voice, a chance to speak with others who are passionate advocates for expanding the blockchain's use cases out into the world and beyond. Do you have a crypto community you would like to represent and hold open hangouts for? If so, you might find yourself on the path to owning a stake in Beyond Bitcoin. We are looking for people who care about people who want to bring others together, because crypto communities are people. Beyond Bitcoin is a movement of thinkers and doers in the crypto space. And if you feel you are one of them, reach out to beyondbitcoin@gmail.com for more information on how to debut your community's efforts to reach to the stars and beyond. Welcome everyone to another Beyond Bitcoin Hangout. Today is Friday, May 15th, 2017, and this is episode 205. We join every week at 2 p.m. UTC on this Mumble server as a community who is a bit addicted to technology, disruptive technologies, things that are going to change the paradigm, and how we can leverage them to really help humanity and maybe make a little bit of money and resources to continue building our little toys throughout the future. So this group here really focuses on cryptocurrency, and that's why we call ourselves Beyond Bitcoin. We've been coming together for about 3 years now, and we've been, as you guys can tell, quite many episodes of various individuals who join up to this little meetup and really like to talk about what they're building in the space. We feel like interacting with the individuals who pay and buy into your projects on a weekly basis is a really important thing to do, because this kind of level of transparency and accountability really forms the basis of trust. And whenever you have trust, you can create a community. And without a community, a blockchain's really just a skeleton. So with that said, to all of you who are adding beefy muscles to our blockchains, I thank you, dear gladiators, for joining the fray. And every week we have individuals RSVP on an RSVP thread, and they can rally their constituents to upvote them to put them in a certain spot within our Hangout. The first person today who's going to be talking is going to be Data Security Node about PeerPlays. Number 2 today is going to be Steam Rolling, and he's going to be talking about BitCash and some updates on that front. Richard Krill is joining to talk about SteemPurse. Then JP Henderson is going to be talking about WhaleShares, which is my personal project of interest today. I will let you guys all know, because this is something that I have been slowly updating people on and giving people the concept and the ideas on. It's almost done. And then Xanox, and he's going to be talking about RuDex on BitShares. So with that said, let's start with Data Security Node and PeerPlays, the next badass graphene chain that's going to be fast, self-govern itself, and pay back the community who owns it. I'm just going to stop. Data, are you there?
Sure am, Fuzzy. Am I coming through okay?
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and step back and let you take the talking stick and do what you guys do every week.
Good day, everybody. Hello. My name is Jonathan Bahai. I am the president of the PeerPlays Blockchain Standards Association. It is a nonprofit located in Canada, which is supporting provably fair gaming through the PeerPlays blockchain. And today is a very exciting day because we are 9 days away from the end of our crowdfund. Our crowdfund's been going on for a couple of months now, but it is only in the last few weeks which we have undergone a dramatic change in terms of how we take contributions. We are now able to take contributions from anywhere. If you're an exchange, or if you have a wallet, or if you have some other type of place where you're storing your Bitcoins, you can send them to our crowdfund now without worry about not being able to deem your tokens. So ever since we made that change, things have been really taken off. We are starting to reach out to the Asian markets, and we're gaining traction there. And it's been an exciting week because almost every day now we've been having an interview with some other publication, with some other journalist that is interested in what's happening. We launched Bookie last week. We talked about that last week in our update. It was launched over the weekend with great fanfare. We had a lot of people come back to us very excited about the prospects of this new decentralized application, which will be running on the PeerPlays blockchain. So that was exciting. Over the course of the next 9 days, as we're coming into the final heat of our crowdfund, we are currently we're getting close to 50% of our tier 1 being sold out. So there is still time for everybody to be able to get in on it. Today, late this afternoon at 1800 UTC, we will be having a live interview with Coin Interview. I'll be posting a link for that for everybody if they want to attend that. Coin Interview has done interviews with various projects. It's a really good opportunity for everybody to be able to listen in and get to know us a little bit better and get to know the project better. We have another interview lined up for tomorrow, May 6th at 2030 UTC, and we'll be on Block Talk. If any of you are following, you probably know that the one of the founders of BitCash, Dan Lammer, was on the show yesterday. And we will be on the show tomorrow. So we'll have an opportunity to talk with Block Talk in regards to PeerPlays tomorrow. Then on Monday, that's May 8th, at 1300 UTC, we'll be interviewed by Gavin Knight at Token Market, and we'll be going through that also. And then a lot of these interviews, it'll be myself, Jonathan, as well as Michael, and in some cases, we'll also have Robin on the show. As many of you know from our video releases, she's been great at telling everybody about PeerPlays in our videos, and now you'll get to have a chance to see her in our live shows. And then we have one more live interview that's lined up for May 13th. It'll be at 1500 UTC. That is Saturday, the day before our crowdfund ends. We'll be doing an Ask Me Anything with the Cryptoversity. That's our very own Chris Coney. So he'll be doing an Ask Me Anything live show where anybody can come on and ask questions, and we'll be there to answer them. It'll be a very exciting event. All these interviews are coming up over the course of the next week. So mark your calendars, get them, be ready to join in. Of course, let everybody know so that they'll be able to have a chance to learn about what's happening with PeerPlays. Aside from that, we also will be in attendance at the keynote dinner gala taking place in Brussels. If those of you don't know about it, it is a big gala event that happened last year. Over $1 billion in funding was raised at that last dinner last year, and we will be there to be able to meet with the government officials and other leaders in the industry. So that's going to be a great prospect for us to network and get to know more of the industry in Europe. So our Amsterdam office is going well. We've been working hard there. Here at the bunker, everything is going great. We're just really busy every single day working on the PeerPlays project, and that is our update for this week. I mean, we've got 9 days to go in the crowdfund, so we're all hands on deck with that. You may have noticed that we have some stories that have been circulating in other languages now. We've now got a PBSA, or sorry, not a PeerPlays Russian channel. So we've opened a PeerPlays Russian channel in Telegram, which has new members joining every day. We are looking at opening up some other languages as well, where there's been some interest. If you are someone who would like to be a language ambassador for PeerPlays, recommend you contact us. Let us know who you are and what you can do. We are open to considering all types of languages. Of course, there are certain ones that we're more interested in than others in terms of being able to support all the incoming that's been happening in regards to supporting people who are wanting to join PeerPlays. So it's been really fantastic so far. We're loving the distribution that we're seeing in this crowdfund. I'm very excited. Everybody is seeing this uptick, and I think we are going to see some amazing things happening over the course of the next 9 days. All these journalists who have been interviewing us, we can anticipate their stories starting to come out next week. I'm not going to say who, but let's just say some of them have interviewed other projects in the past that have yet to deliver. So it's exciting that we'll be able to come out in front of this. And that's all for now. I encourage everybody to join us in our Telegram group, which seems to be the most active group right now. We have nearly 200 members. That's at PeerPlays if you already have Telegram, or as somebody just posted in the chat, t.me/PeerPlays. There we also have other channels available with Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And, of course, go to peerplays.com to find out how you can buy your PPY tokens. Unfortunately, today, Michael is not available due to some other commitments in regards to the project. But if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer at this time. Thank you very much, everybody.
Data security note, would you consider opening a Discord server? There are so many people there.
Opening a Discord server, certainly. There's no reason why we would not consider it, I guess. If you could tell me a little bit about the benefits that you think that would bring, let me know.
Well, go to steamspeak.com. It will take you to our Discord server, and you'll see it for yourself. It has many abilities that Telegram lacks and Skype lacks, and so it's an easy for everyone, for any phone, iPhone or whatever phone you have, and desktops, and it just works beautiful.
Okay, well, part of the reason why we open these groups is initially when we started last year, we opened our own Rocket Chat, and what we've discovered is that a lot of people will have these applications already loaded, and they will have a tendency to join groups that already use platforms that they have loaded. People aren't excited about having to install another app for a specific purpose only. So that's part of why we opened the Telegram group. If Discord has something similar where there is just as much critical mass, then certainly it's not something that I've seen mentioned very often. So maybe that's why it's been off of our radar. But certainly, I mean, we'll take a look at that and consider it. Thank you.
Yeah, we got over 700 members on SteamSpeak, and there are lots of other Steam communities that have one have over 800 members. So there is definitely a lot of people that already use Discord for Twitch and streaming and other purposes. So Telegram is aging quickly.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and do you have time for 3 more questions, Data?
Certainly.
If I make them quick? Okay. T-Bone is asking, is on-chain provably fair poker no longer in the plans for PeerPlays? If not, why? And thanks.
I wouldn't say that it's not in the plans for PeerPlays. It's just not in the immediate roadmap which we have laid out. This has been addressed a few times, I think, now by Michael in regards to the technical nuances in regards to provably fair poker online. I think it was in relation to how bots handle playing the game. We want to focus initially on 2 things. Number one is making sure that people who have the PPY token are sharing in profits which are being generated. We are actually aiming as a network to actually have a profitable blockchain, which is not the case in many instances. But for what we felt was important in regards to launching, we felt that we wanted to have a profitable blockchain, which means that we had to focus in spaces where we could not only have it generate a lot of revenues, but also have it so that it's got some kind of chance and ran to it versus just skill. Because once you introduce that, then it becomes a little bit more difficult for bots to necessarily get into the mix. And in regards to handling those types of things in those industries which are already overrun by bots, we want to approach that at a later date so that we can ensure that when people do get onto the PeerPlays network, they are getting into a pure play rather than getting into playing against a machine which is going to try to outwit them.
Thank you very much, Data. The next question here is, will the network launch in 9 days, i.e. after the crowdfund completion? And can you give us a rundown on what platforms will come out at launch?
So if you go to PeerPlays.com, we have right on the website a past, present, and future, which is all illustrated along with dates all set down. So we can see that the crowdfund ends 18th, but the network does not launch on that date. The network will launch on May 30th. So during that 2-week period, we will be working with possible witnesses within the network during a testnet phase. And during that testnet phase, people who want to be witnesses will have an opportunity to get known, to get familiar with how the code works. And if you are already a BitShares or a Steem witness, you already have an edge simply because you are familiar with how this technology works largely in regards to the requirements. But for those who are, but of course you still have to get known and have all the other good things that come with being a witness. But during that 2 weeks, we are also going to be working on the Genesis block. It'll be important for us to publish it and have it publicly available so that everybody can see it and be able to verify it. And then, of course, May 30th will be the day that the live network actually comes online. Following that, there will be a series of updates in regards to the gameplay and the applications that are launched. Again, I would point to going to peerplays.com for that roadmap because we've already published the dates and the times for when everything is going to appear. So that's, I think that answered the question.
Thank you, Data. And Chichikin asks one more question, and that is, can you speak to the number of participants in the crowdfund thus far? And by the way, I'm just going to add a real quick caveat. I think it's really cool that you guys have opened up multiple currencies, so you can basically donate to the project in any crypto that you really want to.
Yes, that's right. As a matter of fact, we did a post last week when Steem dollars were starting to really skyrocket in value. There was over 25% over US dollar. So we made a post on Steem actually to show people how they could take their Steem dollars, cash them in to buy PeerPlays, at least 25% of them, and have a 25% of whatever they had in Steem dollars in a position in PeerPlays and be ahead and initially get PeerPlays for free practically because they have that 25% premium over them. But if you go to Steem, if you go to at PeerPlays at steemit.com, you can see that article. And of course, there is also, we accept Steem, we accept BTS, we accept BitUSD, BitEuro, BitCNY, Doggy, Litecoin, Dash, Ethereum, all are available within the PeerPlays crowdfund. So, and of course Bitcoin to be able to contribute and be a part of it. So to answer the question, we have if we add up all the participants in the current in the current crowdfund and those participants who have supported us since the beginning of the pre-sale of the crowdfund, we would have a total of approximately 1,100 participants if we are just counting accounts and addresses as being the participants. Of course, we are not, this is a crowd sale. It is largely anonymous. We don't know who our contributors are. They could be from anywhere. So we're not entirely certain if these are all individuals, but so far we have approximately 1,100 participants.
That's a solid number, man. I know that your Telegram's filling up too.
Yeah, we just recently launched a campaign both in Asia and here in North America, and it's when I say recent, I mean literally like yesterday. So ever since then, it's been filling up really, really quick. We're getting lots of great questions. What I'm really excited about, though, is in the last few days, I've been noticing messages in Telegram of people who come in and say, "I'm so excited. This is the very first ICO I've ever participated in." Which is, to me, is one of the more happier moments because I mean, like, we just brought somebody into the cryptoverse, right? They've taken the leap, and the PeerPlays project made them a believer. So, and I'm excited because this is, as many of you know, this is one of the more real projects than what a lot of us see in the space right now. So I'm quite happy to be seeing messages like that. So. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time, Data. I know that you have a lot going on right now, so I won't keep you anymore, but we did have some questions, and I'm glad that you answered them. Like you already said...
Roland, thanks, Jay Bahai. Unfortunately, pick up the baby. Great weekend all.
What the hell was
Pick
that?
up the baby? What?
No, that was a great message. I feel like that was kind of like a little sun shaft shining down on us, warming our faces. A perfect way to end this segment, I guess, Data, would be to reiterate that you have multiple places, but the main places right now are the Telegram. You guys have Facebook and social media, Twitter, and the website, which is PeerPlays.com, correct?
You're right, Fuzzy. It's PeerPlays.com. But if you also want to read up on our archive articles, there is PeerPlays.com/news. And we are on
There we
Steam
go,
it.
thank you.
Yeah, and we are on Steam it at PeerPlays. We are on Telegram at PeerPlays. We're on Twitter at PeerPlays. And of course, we are on Facebook. Also, if you look up PeerPlays, you'll find us there too. I can't think of any other major program. Oh, we are also on Reddit. You can join our channel, also PeerPlays. And yeah, that's about it. So we also have email. So if you want to power up at peerplays.com, you can reach us at that email. And yeah, we're generally available everywhere. And if anybody needs to contact us for anything, whether it be questions, interviews, becoming a language ambassador, or any other information, we are always available. So feel free.
And just really quick, for anybody who's interested, peerplays.com/crowdfund is the way that you would go ahead and get your stake in the ecosystem. So with that said, thank you, Data. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say, Steam Roland, are you there? You are here to talk about BitCash. Is that correct?
Hey, how's it going, Fuzzy? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Perfectly, man. So it sounds like you have been busy. You have some good updates for us. So what I'm going to do is I'll just step back and I'll say, feel free to give your introduction and give any updates and take some questions.
Great, thanks a lot, Fuzzy. So this is June. I'm Mayor Vercap on the BitShares forums and steamrolling on Steemit. Working on a startup called BitCash. It's a digital wallet and payment system. But that space is very broad. So our very first niche is actually helping people, or making it easier for people to buy into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. So in the past months, we just came up with a web app called BitCash Trade. It's BitCash Trade. It's at trade.bitcash.org. And that's our kind of MVP product to make it easier for people to just buy various different cryptocurrencies. We're starting with 6 of them. And, we're just looking for beta testers right now. It's a functional product. Some of the it's still manual, and it's not perfectly advanced on our side, but it actually is functional. It gives us notifications when people want to exchange into these cryptocurrencies. So the idea is you get a BitCash wallet. It's a dollar wallet that kind of feels like PayPal or Venmo or Square Cash, and so people get BitCash by trading, fiat and once they have BitCash, they can use that BitCash to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zcash, Zclassic, Steem, and BitShares right now, and then we're going to add some more coins later. But that's kind of the idea, using our BitCash wallet as a bridge into these other currencies, hoping it just makes it easy for people to trade with each other one for one. They don't have to kind of mess with order books, or when they trade for Bitcoin or something else. Everyone has a different price. They could just trade into BitCash first, dollar for dollar, and then they'll have a platform in trade.bitcash.org to be able to into these currencies. So that's pretty much it. There's trade.bitcash.org is our kind of trade platform. And m.bitcash.org is our wallet. It's a very simple dollar wallet, very, very simple. And there's a link there from trade.bitcash.org to, if you go on the upper right, there's a BitCash button. That's actually to get to the simple wallet, and that's kind of how you use it. You get your BitCash. You can use your Open Ledger wallet as well. The smart coin we use is for BitCash is called cash.usd. So if you're familiar with the BitCash or the BitShares platform, you can just go ahead and look for cash.usd. It's a smart coin. It's a variation of the BitUSD. There's a few changes there, but it's a smart coin, and you can go ahead and use that, create that if you're familiar with the BitShares platform, and you can use that to put into other currencies. So that's pretty much it in terms of the background of what it's all about. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and hoping to kind of recruit some beta testers for this platform, be able to offer up free BitCash, and then also we have these. If you're familiar with brownie points, I have something similar with BitCash that actually I'm hoping to give shares in the future for. But anyway, these are points, kind of like brownie points if you're familiar. If not, these are just kind of tokens from us that are not promises, but just kind of trackers of people who've help BitCash, and down the road I hope to kind of give actual shares for. So anyway, so hopefully that'll incentivize people to want to beta test this product. Hopefully people just want to use it anyway. But I'd be happy to help people and kind of walk through people through the product. So happy to take any questions. Fuzzy, anybody else?
So you guys are going to be starting the beta. Do you guys is it going to be desktop, or is it going to be an app, or is it going to be both?
Yeah, we started with a web app, mobile-centric web app. So the mobile app is, it's so you could it's cross-platform that way. The wallet, it's you could, if you have an iPhone, it still works with Chrome on the iPhone, but it's just you just have to go to your browser. So it's at least let's say mobile-centric, but the desktop and laptop is fine. We just went with a web app.
And it's kind of like if you were to go to like PayPal or something on the web from your phone or your desktop.
Yeah. You could think of it that way. You could just go to check it out. It's very simple. Our design is similar to Square Cash here in the U.S. And there's just a keypad where you can send, put an amount that you want to send and send it to another, a BitShares account. Or a BitCash account. So yeah, it's very simple. We tried to simplify it, just tried to kind of make it for the mainstream user, just so that grandma can use it. And so feel free to check it out at m.bitcash.org. That's the wallet. All you have to do is enter a nickname, click create. That'll create a BitShares account. And then you could start using it and to receive and send BitCash. Then you use that wallet to if you want to go to BitCash trade and trade it into something else. If you send us BitCash, we'll send you real Bitcoin and real Ethereum in return, or Zcash, Zclassic. If you could kind of trade.bitcash.org, you can see it.
I would really like to know a little bit more about if you have any plans of working with the other projects that you have, connecting these up to BitCash.
So the other projects, I'm with Steem. I'm working on PeerHub, which is a marketplace website. That's separate right now. We're gonna probably try to integrate BitCash into it down the road. But for those that don't know, PeerHub is just a marketplace website like eBay, but it accepts Steem dollars right now, or it allows people to kind of use Steem dollars. So, but yeah, that's a separate project. We might kind of integrate it down the road. It's all the other projects. I mean, those are the two main projects I'm working on. So
I just kind of think it would be cool to have a trading pair between SBD and BitCash on PeerHub, personally. And then you could use either one, but you could actually exchange them.
Yeah, you can use the PeerHub platform kind of in a similar way where you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies, Steem dollars or Steem on the platform. So in that way, yeah, you can actually use it. People haven't done a whole lot of it, but I've sold Bitcoin and Steem on that platform for PayPal. And that's the idea. I forgot to mention that with the mobile or just the wallet app that we have, there's a feature there where you can actually connect with others to trade, a PayPal, Venmo, or Square Cash or Bank Cash with others. So you just kind of get their phone and their email through our wallet app. And just ask for how much BitCash you want, and then you connect with them and exchange with them for BitCash. And that's kind of the idea. I want to foster that whole peer exchange system so that we have another gateway beyond Coinbase or it's still very difficult here in the US and probably elsewhere to get Bitcoin. So if we have a lot of peer-to-peer exchanges, we're hoping to foster that. It's a lot easier to exchange dollar for dollar because whenever you're exchanging Bitcoin for fiat, it's always like negotiating a price, figuring out what the price is, at any given moment. With BitCash, it's very easy to trade in. You just pretty much trade dollar for dollar. And so you don't have to really kind of worry about that when trading with others. And then you can just go ahead and go to our platform to kind of get a fixed price for all the different currencies. So,
well, I think it's important that everybody realize, so we kind of touch upon it occasionally, that BitCash is a market pegged asset. And that is something that is kind of a staple of the graphene and BitShares ecosystem is the capability of accomplishing something like that, right? Like market pegged assets, something that holds its value very tightly to the value of an actual real life instrument, but is cryptographically secured by a blockchain. And that's essentially what BitCash is. So it's kind of interesting to let people know that this is probably the only ecosystem that would enable this at this point in time, and has been the only ecosystem for quite some time. So there's a reason why BitShares itself is one of the top cryptocurrencies in the world, and you guys are showing it with what you're doing, man.
Yeah, thanks, Fuzzy. And yeah, that's the beauty behind it, and that's the reason why BitCash exists. I just thought that as a payment system, the crypto dollar was powerful because, it's like Bitcoin. You can't freeze it, you can't limit it, you can't tax it, but it's pegged to the dollar. And so I think a lot of other people have recognized the importance of that. And you have Tether, which has issues right now. You have all these other systems that have tried to create a dollar crypto token, but this works, and it works, I think, well. And it was kind of it's still in the early stages, so we're wanting to kind of see exactly how everything works or goes with that, but I think it's powerful. And there's a question here: is what's the exchange rate on trade.bitcash.org. Right now, we just have a spread between buy and sell, and it's just Bitcoin's 5%. There's a 5% spread, and we'll try to get that down. Right now, it's if you buy through local Bitcoins and using mechanisms that we want to encourage, which is like trading for PayPal, Venmo, and things like that. The spreads, like the premium on Bitcoin, is a lot higher. It could go as 15, 20% if you're using Venmo and Square Cash and all that. So that's why ours is far more I think competitive compared to the general market. Some of the other assets that are illiquid, we charge a higher premium. Like Z Classic is one. It's very illiquid, but it's a fork of Zcash. It's a alternative that doesn't have the 20% kind of post mine allocation to developers. So that one is more illiquid. So there's a 10% kind of not a 10% spread. There's a 10% premium on it. So
could I also ask for a list of your BitShares cash assets? I can actually include them in my giveaways on Steam. I think people will be interested.
Sure. There's the kind of the points. It's BitCash share points. I think it's gifts, BitCash share points that I can probably give away. I had to figure out exactly what amount, for helping out with the beta testing. The smart coin is called cash.usd. So that's, instead of BitUSD, it's cash.usd.
Yep, I found that one. And then there's cash.btc.
Yeah, don't mess with cash.btc. That was it was kind of we tested it out earlier, and there's
fair enough.
Yeah,
you said enough.
Yeah, don't worry about that one. Just stick with cash.usd.
You got it.
Now.
Thank you, VG. That's a good question.
Welcome.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Oh, Talkinator has one here. It says, what is the exchange rate on trade.bitcash.org?
Yeah, I just answered that, Fuzzy, with the kind of 5% kind of premium for buying it to bid 10% for Z Classic. Everything's 5%. Oh, I forgot to mention BitShares. It's actually lower at 2% because I wanted it more efficient for people to trade it from BitCash to BitShares. So that's actually the lowest premium or spread for the exchange. So I want to kind of encourage people to trade BitCash for BitCash for BitShares on the system, on that trade platform. It doesn't go on the DEX or the decentralized exchange. This is kind of outside, but it helps with the trading. It just I think provides more liquidity, and then so the internal market on the BitShares exchange hopefully will kind of coincide with the trading outside on trade.bitcash.org, and so we can kind of foster that market as well. But trading doesn't have to happen on the exchange. That's kind of a neat thing about it. We can just trade BitCash for BitShares even outside of it, person to person, and it actually doesn't reflect on the exchange. But we do want to foster trades and liquidity on the exchange going forward. So
right now I see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Steem, Zcash, Z Classic are all featured tokens on trade.bitcash.org.
Yeah, that's correct. And then so Crypto Hippie also has a question. So can I buy BitCash with PayPal Venmo today? If you want to try it out, what I did was I put some orders, Crypto Hippie, of selling BitCash for PayPal Venmo. And so you could feel free if you set up a wallet, and then you could go. There's a little icon next to the balance button that gets you to a place where you can, see all the offers to buy BitCash for PayPal and Venmo. So you could do that, and you'll probably connect with me because I put some orders up, and then you can, you just connect with me via email or phone, and then either by text, and you send PayPal Venmo to me, and then I'll send you BitCash. And then with that, then you could get any of the other tokens at trade.bitcash.org. So
have you considered partnering up in any way, shape, or form with PeerPlays? Because that seems like it might actually be a really good option as a synergistic relationship.
Yeah, I've thought about that, Fuzzy. I think it's I like the kind of the game industry, and we're going after applications where people can use this wallet, this dollar wallet uh, to and if they can have games that they can play and use BitCash to, let's say, wager. I think that's fantastic. I think those are the sorts of markets that we want to go after. So, this is the low hanging fruit, because we're in the crypto space so we're offering a application or use case where people could buy into Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these other tokens. But the next kind of use case is kind of involve. I like games where you can wager BitCash for any of the games you play, whether it's whatever it is, if it's poker or if it's blackjack or any of the games that PeerPlays are going to be creating. So definitely, down the road, hope to work together with them. So
well, it'll be very interesting to see how we use these tools to expand this. I'm looking at the site right now. It's beautiful, and I think that I will love to see as you guys start becoming a place where people can buy various other cryptocurrencies too, as you expand this. But especially the graphene ones. I'm not going to lie about my bias here, guys, but that's not investment advice. But how do people reach out to you if they would like to participate in some way, shape, or form? If they have specific questions, I see that you can reach out to support on the website itself. But is there any way that they can reach you specifically?
Sure. Email is June at bitcash.org, and you can also reach out on me on Telegram. I'm on there with, I think my handle was MaraverCap there. So you can feel free to find me there, either on the biz or I think there's a few kind of channels I'm on there. And I think that's the best way. Email June at bitcash.org or Telegram. So
well, thank you very much.
So there's one question, I don't know if we have time, but T-Bone asks about parameters. I can answer this.
Please do. I'm sorry that I missed it, man.
I think that's what he's asking, the parameters for Cash USD. So we control the parameters for Cash USD. So it's we tweak the design. So and I think that's it was very important for in my mind for a couple of the parameters to be different from BitUSD. It gives us a chance to experiment with a different design, which I think is a lot better. So we control that, but we do not control the price feed. That's done by witnesses, and that's all we can do. We can just change the parameters. And Bytemaster had foresight in creating a way for people to kind of tweak the design and create a smart coin. So we're taking advantage of that. Down the road, in maybe 6 months, hopefully this is successful, and we want to kind of have the committee members actually control Cash.USD. But for now, it's okay. We're not going to have that much float. Maybe 10, 20 grand, because really our use cases, it's going to cycle back and forth between us as kind of a bridge currency into the other coins. So anyways, I hope that answers your question, T-Bone. The parameter changes we did make, we just removed forced settlement. We also, the MSSR, which is the minimum short squeeze ratio, is at 100.1. I think that those two changes to the design make will make the trading far more efficient, and you're going to see essentially closer trading to you'll just see closer trading around the price feed, which is what indicates I think how close you can get to a peg. But the BitCash dollars are, I think, going to be treated just like a dollar. People aren't going to, like, outside of it, people are going to trade dollar for dollar. So it's really, I think, a great way of, designing this smart coin. And I think it's an improvement over BitUSD. But hopefully, either BitUSD maybe down the road can, if this works out, might think about changing it towards what design we have, or we'll have Cash USD hopefully taken up by the committee members of BitShares, so that we'll have a couple different USD assets on the platform that's just purely run by the BitShares witnesses. So, and yes, it's June is JUN@.org. I'm sorry, yes, JUN.
Thank you for joining up and providing updates with this stuff. It's cool to see, man, that there are people who others might think they just kind of disappeared and they weren't really working hard behind the scenes. Coming out with stuff like you've had your head down for a while and you're just not talking about it until you have something to show for it, which is really cool. I like the fact that you've got something to show for it now, and the site's starting to really look good. So congratulations. Thank you for your transparency and being out there. And I will urge everybody here and everybody who's listening to these Hangouts to support the people who are guest speakers here, who join up to participate, answer questions about their projects, and give updates to everybody in the space about what they're up to. Because in this space, trust is very important. And we have been blessed as a community for Beyond Bitcoin here because we have, as a community, supported this amazing technology through the hard times and the good times. We have now these tools like Steemit, PeerPlays, and BitShares, where we can trade tokens, where we can use tokens to empower ourselves in ways that I'm pretty sure most people before this paradigm would have thought was impossible. But it's really cool to see where we're going to take it and how things are emerging. Now, with that said, I will go ahead and I'll move down the list to Richard Krill, who's supposed to be talking about something called SteemPurse today. Richard, are you on?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly, man. Well, this is your first time speaking on here, so what I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to say is we started up as like a little meetup, a decentralized meetup where people could talk about their projects, because obviously cryptocurrency isn't a huge space yet. It's growing by leaps and bounds, it seems, lately, and it's going to continue to do so, but not everybody can travel an hour every week to a meetup, or they don't have the ability to do so. So I appreciate that you join up here. How we kind of run this is as a meetup. So if you would kindly just give us like maybe a couple minutes of an introduction of yourself and how you got into crypto, and then we can move on to your project, Steem itself, and then with Steem itself, and then maybe some community questions and answers.
Okay, sure. I did come on once before, very briefly, just on another simple little project I was working on before the last SteemFest. It was SteemFest Dreamers. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember SteemFest Dreamers. Of course, I remember SteemFest Dreamers. I thought I remembered the name, but I thought that it was just because of there was like a bunch of Krill posts at one point in time saying that you weren't a minnow, you were a Krill on Steem when you first joined up. And I thought that I kind of conflated those two mentally. So I'm glad that you've brought me back to reality on this one.
Yeah, yes. So SteemFest Dreamers was just a way to get a few tickets and help a few people get to SteemFest. We bought a few tickets for people, and something I want to continue doing when we hear more about the next SteemFest to happen. But yeah, this project is another very simple idea. It's basically SteemPurse is a way to it's basically copying the idea behind Purse.io. So instead of using Bitcoin, using Steem though. So if anyone's not familiar with Purse.io, basically enables you to use Bitcoin to buy anything off of Amazon at a discount. So if you're doing that, you go to, well, actually, no, if you're on the other side of it, if you would log into your Amazon account and create a wish list, a shareable wish list, you share that link on Purse.io, then people are able to see that wish list and able to purchase that for you with Bitcoin. So the idea is basically to use Steem instead of Bitcoin, and it's something that basically Steemit.com can already do. There doesn't even really need to be a separate website. There may be eventually, but yeah, it's basically just a way to get a discount of anything on Amazon with Steem.
So are you going to be developing a front end that makes this, that ties all this together?
Well, that's a possibility. Right now, it's still in the very early stages. The main problem I have right now, the way to make it secure, like on Purse.io, you put your Bitcoin, once you put your order in, you have to go ahead and send your Bitcoin. So when somebody goes and buys your wish list, they it's not, they don't have to count on you. It's held there in escrow. So the fact that Steem already has the escrow transfer feature, basically Steem can already do this. I made a post that just went through the steps, just a tutorial to do it. And the only problem right now is that the escrow transfer is not enabled on Steemit.com and the interface. Now it's a Steem, the mobile app, actually does have it, but it's still kind of working through some bugs right now. So really the only thing that needs to be developed is the user interface for the escrow transfer feature, because at that point, and I do think a website, .com or something like that would be something in the future. But to get it started, you could really just use Steem. You could just use a post, and comments to do the same exact thing that you can do on Purse.io, and then do the escrow transfer feature. You basically have everything you need already on Steemit.com.
Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding this project before I dig into it? I think that this is important to open it up to community discussion as well, because obviously you all have expertise in various areas that maybe I do not. So those who listen, if you have a project or you're representing something and you have ideas about a project, feel free to step up and speak your voice.
I'll just say I love the idea of being an e-commerce person for many decades.
And e-commerce is only expanding.
Yes, it is, and slowly into crypto. It's the barriers that is the complications that we run into.
For now.
Correct.
But this industry is also self-funding. So it's going to be kind of interesting. Now, Richard, are you planning on moving forward with this, or is this an idea, or what stage is this for you?
Yeah, this is still basically in the idea stage, and honestly, this is something I would like to see happen, not necessarily something that I want to own. So really, anybody could do this. I'm definitely going to move forward with it and make it happen, because this is something that I would definitely use, and I think others would too. I like a lot of people, I'm sure, buy a lot of things off of Amazon. So if I had an ability to do that with Steem, if the price of Steem was high and I was wanting to cash out a little bit, I would definitely do that. And I think it would be my one concern, which is something that I have wondered about Purse.io. I'm not sure if there would be enough on the other side of it, people willing to buy Steem, because you're basically, when to get a discount of product using Steem, then for somebody who's buying the wish list, they're basically going to pay a premium, whatever that discount that the other side is paying. So, something like 10% would encourage people, I think, to definitely use their Steam to buy, get a 10% off of anything on Amazon. But I'm not sure that there would be enough on the other side to do it. I think there will, because obviously Purse.io, plenty of people use that. And I think it's also a good fit because you have a lot of people on Steam who are new to crypto. They might not even own Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies. They might just own Steam. And so it may be a way for them, before they've diversified into other cryptos, they can already use what they have to go ahead and start buying things from.
What it makes me think of, and this is just because I think I have a bit of a sappy bend, but I think of something like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. There are people like little kids who have cancer and stuff, and they could tell their stories and have wish lists of things that they would like to have, like a toy or something. Or kids who don't have, during Christmas, they don't have enough money for toys or something, and Steam does like a drive, and essentially the community donates a portion to buy different toys. We could even we could possibly even partner up with different toy makers for it. I don't know how hard this would be. I'm sure it would be no small undertaking, but something like this would be the foundation to a lot of cool things like this.
Yeah, definitely.
And it would be huge PR, buddy.
Exactly. Yeah, I had the same thought because, the community that exists here for Steemit is just incredible. And I think you would have plenty of people that would be, totally ready to do stuff like that.
Oh, God, yes. It would be so nice to see for once, like the trending page, a bunch of little kids getting toys who otherwise wouldn't have gotten them, or who are having really bad times in their lives. That would be like an amazing, uplifting thing. I think it might be the only very positive news, like hugely positive laden news on the internet at times.
I'd be happy to help with that interested as well, because as some people know, I was in the Boy Scouts for many years. It's a very charity thing, so I've definitely been involved in that and have some understanding that I could lend.
I love it. Anybody else have any questions or comments regarding this? I mean, I seriously can go on all day with it, but I'm sure all of you guys are pretty smart gentlemen and gentlewomen out there. I think that's what you call them, gentlewomen. But feel free to speak up or tell us what you think.
I think that's a great idea, and I could see it maybe going into or tying into something like GoFundMe eventually.
Not a bad idea.
Charity, with doing charity work and stuff.
It could definitely be incorporated in. One of the beauties of it, where it's on the blockchain, you can show most of your funds. And one of the best ones out there that I know of is United Way, and they donate well over 90%, unlike a lot of others, which seem to have paid too much to themselves. And because of the value added by Steam itself, it makes it that much easier. So it makes sense in a lot of ways.
This is why we have disruptive ideas. Richard, you just brought a disruptive idea in here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping so. Thanks for that feedback, Battlex. Yeah, that's exactly the ideas that kept coming up in my mind when I was thinking about this. That's why I wanted to start getting the idea out there, because I really think it's, almost inevitable, because it's, at least to get started would be very easy. And then of course it could get, off into a lot of other things. But right now, the basic idea of being able to do that, it's already pretty much there, except for the escrow transfer is the only thing I'm kind of waiting on. And just to make that clear, I don't know if I finished saying that. I think everybody probably understands. But so the reason it's safe is so you wouldn't actually release the funds until you got products from Amazon. So that's why the escrow transfer is important. So it's basically, you don't have to be trusting the other person so much.
Exactly, and there's business models that utilize that feature. You wait till the product arrives, and we can have tracking numbers incorporated as another check, as well as the feedback from the person, and develop the checks and balances into a working model.
It's ideas like these that I look forward to being able to pass somebody like Richard's some vote tokens, so he can know that he'll have an upvote anytime he needs them, whenever he's posting about this project. I look forward to it, man.
I really appreciate it, Fuzzy. I've actually got like a post or two ready to go. If I could just get the escrow, that's my only thing holding me up right now. Because there's And I think it could be easily done. There's actually a Russian site, a Golos person who made a standalone GUI for that feature. So I think somebody could do that. And, we could use that one. I think if it was, developed by somebody in the Steemit community, people might be a little more willing to use that one than the Golos one. I think that Golos one would be fine, but I'm just trying to find something that, a lot of people would be willing to use.
That was Yaroslav. His username is XTAR, and I think I can take a part of credit on that because I was going around and making a lot of noise about there being an escrow mechanism on Steem blockchain, but Sneak said that the Steemit Inc. doesn't have any plans on implementing a GUI for that in foreseeable future, and he was like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. In any developer that would do that would get big thanks from us, and that's what I did. That's one of the best things with open source communities and Steemit in general and Golos as well, that you can get things that you want if you tell enough people. They are quite easy to implement for people with skills.
Exactly. Thanks for that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping would happen.
And I was saying that I could probably link you two together, so you could ask him to make an escrow GUI for you using Steem. I think he already posted the GUI thing for Steem on Steem, but I could ask him.
Great, yeah, I'd love that. I appreciate it.
So I just want to make it clear. It's for people like you, Richard. I'm glad that you guys exist. Like, you come up with multiple initiatives and you don't stop doing it. You just kind of figure out what ideas might bring some value to the ecosystem, right? And you don't give up, and you keep coming back here occasionally with some different ideas, and we keep building community members who are interested in doing these things, and we start funding you guys and supporting you guys. I think we're going to watch you guys all build some amazing stuff. I can't wait to do that. So I want to just say I appreciate you joining up today, and I would love if you would continue giving us updates on, how things are going, and if there are people who are interested, and maybe we can look at bringing you into the Whaletank when we start the Whaletank here shortly. Maybe get some whales to give you some whale tokens. But with that said, that's kind of moving ahead. How do people reach out to you if they want to join up and help you? How do they contact you?
Thanks a lot, Fuzzy. I really appreciate that because, honestly, coming to a place like this, for somebody like me, I feel like a total noob compared to most of y'all. So just the fact that I'm welcomed here and we can talk here about my idea, I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, just you can find me on Steemit chat, the same as my username here, Richard Krill, or Discord. You usually always have SteemSpeak on the background, so you can almost always find me there too. So those would be the easiest ways.
Well, thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Now, with that said, I'm just going to, I hate to plug it every time, so I try not to do it too often, but just to be clear, everybody here, we post Hangouts every week, so make sure that you support these people by voting for our RSVP post, sharing it on your interwebs over your networks, and make sure to do it with nerdy friends who might like stuff like this, or who you already know like stuff like this. Bring them on board, people that you trust, so they can be part of this, and so they can maybe get a little bit of a stake in some of these graphene chains before things take off and go absolutely back, SH, hockey stick. Exclamation point T. Crazy in the space, right? because it's going to really surprise people. People think that this altcoin craze right now is something absolute mind-blowing, but I suspect we have seen nothing yet. So with that said, please support the people who are here, who are being transparent, by supporting Beyond Bitcoin and by sharing their content. It's so important that we as a community recognize that it's not just giving money to each other or passing tokens of value back and forth to each other, but also sharing with those who we believe might really resonate with the message that we are trying to send out here and that the projects are trying to send out. So bring people into this family and let's build some amazing things. And I support all of these transparent projects getting recognition. So with that said, I very much am pumped about this next one because I've been waiting for a little bit for some amazing action with it. I know a lot of you guys have heard me talking about tools that we need for communities, and it just so happens that I found a nerd who is also a badass dev who's learning BitShares and Steem quite a bit over the past couple, I would say, maybe almost 3 months, because and for those of you guys who are devs and who maybe aren't devs but are familiar with the documentation, this is very a grassroots. Even though it's an amazing tech, the grassroots nature of it has made it so documentation has been hard. So he's actually been really working really hard behind the scenes on one of these ideas that is called WhaleShares. And the intent is to do some really cool things in the ecosystem. One of which is to ensure people power up and stay powered up and can leverage their Steem power without powering down, and also bringing more liquidity to the BitShares DEX by allowing people to use tokens. But I'm not the person who actually built it. So though there are ideas that I have here on it, he is the guru behind it. So rather than talk about all of it myself, because I'm so so pumped about it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, Walrus, are you able to step up and tell everybody hello and introduce yourself maybe, and then get a little bit into some updates?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
Perfectly, man.
All right. Well, you said most of what I was going to say already.
Well, you've been doing some amazing stuff here. You've been behind the scenes. You've built a service, and there's a lot more to it that we've talked about. I know that we've sat here for hours. So let's dig into it a little bit. I just kind of feel like I touched the surface in a summer. How will somebody do this? Like, is this going to be a service that people can log into, like a website, or tell us a little bit about it, man?
We will have a website, but at first, at least, we're going to have people use their BitShares account, which will help bring people to BitShares as well. And what you'll do is you'll get our token, and then you can transfer it to the whale token, to the whales account that you're trying to get the upvote for, with the post identifier in the memo, and that'll trigger the script that upvotes the post.
So essentially, let's say we're going to be running Whaletank. You're going to be one of the people who's going to be helping with this. You're going to be part of the panel, right? We're going to have a token, right, that you're going to be able to pass out. And that token, whenever you create that, if you give that token to me, for instance, and then I go and I use that token and I send the memo, the actual link that I want to have upvoted, then that my account that is associated with that is going to upvote that. Is that how it's going to work?
Oh yeah, the account that's associated with the receiver of the token will upvote the post that is in the memo.
It's just really cool because it makes it so you don't really even absolutely need a BitShares account the way that you're doing it, though, right?
Well, at first you will, the way we're doing it, but eventually I want to add it to where if they don't have a BitShares account, or we can probably, That's something that's still up in the air.
Yeah,
how
we
we're
can
going to
talk
do
about
that. Definitely at first, you're going to need a BitShares account to send the token or receive the token.
And you were planning on having WhaleShares tokens, right? And let's talk a little bit more about WhaleShares tokens. Is that okay? Or let me ask real quick. Instructor here says, what percentage is the upvote for a token? Sorry, instructor.
Oh, the way I have it written right now is 100%, but depending on the whale in there, since I do a separate script for each whale that's selling their vote, I could adjust that as necessary.
Instructor is saying 4 trillion R share ceiling. So you're saying essentially based on the R shares, there are whales out there that'll downvote it if there's something that's upvoted at 100% and it gives more than 4 trillion R shares. Is that what you're saying, instructor? Okay. Walrus, I don't know if you're familiar with R shares, but that's something that I don't think actually that you need to be familiar with on this. The people who create the tokens will be more important. That'll be very important to them, I believe. But with respect to that, instructor, being able to proxy only a certain percentage to an account for upvoting might fix that. I think it's a patch, maybe a workaround. So feel free, anybody who has questions or comments, feel free to open them up. I can talk about this all day. I know what I want to do with it, and I'm going to talk about that as well. Walrus, feel free to talk about it. Battle Axe, you're here. Feel free to speak up about your ideas and your thoughts on it. I can talk about this, but this is also for all of you. So I'm going to step back and try to remain somewhat silent for a moment.
Well, I'll talk for just 1 second. I think that instructor had a good point on saying it vote delegation versus vote buying. I definitely think that it's vote delegation. So there's my 2 pesos right there.
My feelings on it are this, essentially that if we already have whales who are like, let's say a whale who's a witness is a great example, right? A whale is a witness who goes around downvoting people because they're making too much on a blog post. That's kind of, to me, a little bit more of a centralized approach. I would much prefer that whale to make 4 or 5 coins, use one to pass out to people who they think are doing amazing things, use another one to pass out to people who might use them to downvote nasty material who are working and doing transparent things on that they can read about it and stuff, right? Like steam cleaners or something, and then maybe sell a couple of them on the exchange and buy more steam and power up. I would prefer that over a bunch of whales running around downvoting somebody because they think that a post became worth too much. I don't think that fixes the problem. I think free market solutions are the answer. And if we can force people if we can incentivize people so strongly that it basically is forcing them to keep powered up, and potentially both in Golos and Steam and potentially other Steemic clones, you can with different use cases even, you can essentially have some tokens that are very valuable and also add a lot of value to BitShares because now they're trading on there. And I think that's not necessarily a bad idea. I think it's a heck of a lot. I think it's better than whales downvoting. Let's just say that.
Totally agree.
And I wanted to answer P-Funk's question here about if downvotes will be able to be bought. And that's something I'm going to add another function. It'll be a separate token that we'll probably call OrcaShares. And we're going to try to make it worth about 2 WhaleShare tokens. So it's twice as expensive to downvote as it is to upvote. And but that's something we're going to put in the future too, probably.
You see, I think that it's kind of cool that because here's one of the reasons why I was so intent on getting this, and why it was very hard to get. It's very hard to get a developer who is willing to bust their asses and get something done like this, because this stuff is hard. I have no doubt that this is hard, even for people like Walrus right here who self-taught on all this stuff. But whenever we have this tool, we're going to be able to enable people to have a real high incentive to power up their steam, right, and hold on to it, because now they don't have to power down to leverage that. And when we accomplish that, now we're driving more demand for steam power, which means, guess what? There's only one way of getting steam power, and that's to power up steam, right? Or Gulos or anything else like that, right? So we're driving that demand by accomplishing that. And that should, in my mind, make whales extremely happy too. I think if our goal is to make the value of steam itself go up, and people buying steam, there's a premium on it, because why not? Because everybody wants it, then I think that we start essentially a derivatives market using votes. That's kind of how I see it anyway.
Yeah, by providing a means for people to monetize their steam power without powering down, so it gives them an incentive to hold it and keep their steam power. I think it'll bring a lot. It'll raise the price of steam by quite a bit, because there won't be people selling it as much.
I mean, isn't that ultimately what the whales want anyway?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I have a technical question on the BitShares side and on interaction between BitShares, a token, and some external graphene-based blockchains. How hard was that to implement? Probably have to consult with you, because that's something that we were also for our next project, but that's in the future.
Well, the BitShares development team really helped me a lot with that, but because a lot of them worked on the Steam APIs too, and using Python with those two, it worked out pretty well. It wasn't really that difficult. On my server, I am running both the Steam node and the BitShares node. That plays a big role in that, which also keeps the keys safe, because that was an important consideration as well.
So to do that, you have to have two nodes running on the same machine or something like that?
Well, I definitely did, and that made development easier, because since we have to store like the BitShares memo keys and the Steam posting keys, I didn't want to send it out over the internet, so I just kept it on the server with a node running, so I could directly work with both chains.
Oh, nice.
So, anybody have any other questions or comments, or should I bring up my next point that I'm going to bring up?
I guess
by being nice.
By being nice.
Say what?
I don't know. I can't think of anything to add. I know that Walrus has definitely worked extremely hard, so I'm going to just give some props to him. And at Cinco de Mayo.
Definitely.
So just going to be happy Cinco de Mayo. Everyone that actually celebrates it, which for us is going to be in about 3 hours.
And I'm just going to make sure that everybody also knows, Walrus basically took very, very little money to even get this started, and wasn't going to take any money until it was finished. So it was really cool of him that he kind of took this route with me, and I've been needing a developer. As you guys all know, I've run into developers I can trust to get stuff done and developers I can't, and I want to really give credit to those who do help, because I'm using most of the money that I earn to try to build these things for our community, so we have these tools, so we can amplify our voices, and so we can really show people what the hell we're doing and how powerful it is. People like him are really helping us out. So I really want to ask that everybody consider supporting Walrus in any way that he ever, as obviously within reason. If he comes in saying, we need to kill the president, we might tell him to cool down, but I don't suspect that's going to happen. Anything within reason, within our community, I suspect Walrus will be a good person to get resources into the hands of, is my point. Trustworthy people are gold. Let's polish them and let's show them off. And speaking of that, really comes down to the next thing that comes from WhaleShares, and that is that we're going to be starting a Whaletank Hangout. And that is kind of an evolution upon the original Shark Tank idea that somebody had. So what we're going to essentially do... Crypto for iffy. What we're essentially going to do is we're going to upgrade and create a new kind of Hangout. And essentially this means that you will have to have a whale token. You will join up, you'll have a token on WhaleShares, and you will either have that backed by proxy power from other people who've given it to you, or you'll have it backed by your own whale power. And you'll give to the various projects that join up your tokens if you like them or if you trust them. If you don't trust them, you won't give them out, etc. And we're going to try to make a big push for this because we feel like what we can start doing is give various projects leads in the community the ability to have their own tokens. Instead of having to, because as a whale, I remember, so many people would message me on Steemit chat, like, here, check out this, check this out, check this out, check this out. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And it takes so much time as a person, a single person, to go out and manage all that. That's why I think it's silly that whales will downvote things that are worth too much. Whales cannot do this. We can't do it on our own. So what we should do is loan it out to the people who want to utilize it effectively, right? And let the market decide the value of it. And if we accomplish this and we have a show that enables us to debut all these individuals who are joining up and they get tokens that they can then use instead of going out to these whales and asking for upvotes, they just get the upvotes from the whales by using their tokens. It saves a lot of time. It becomes more efficient. And there's a lot of people who are going to start trading it on BitShares because guess what, guys? These are BitShares tokens. Because guess what, guys? BitShares is one of the fastest things out there and most scalable things out there. And you can make your own tokens, customized tokens, and God, it's going to be amazing, right? But I want to let you guys all know that I'm looking for people who are wanting to be who are wanting to be proxies for me. At the Hangout. So if you have extra Steam power that you would prefer not to always be voting everything up and you would like to get it into the hands of people who are really going to build stuff, I've got a track record of 3 years here. I don't like selling myself, so you guys will have to just forgive me on this, but those of you who know me, you know what I do. So if you trust me, I'm gonna work on trying to get things done for all of us. I'm not going to run away with it and buy a big yacht and a bunch of hookers and cocaine. I might buy my son a bike with a little bit of it. But if you guys help me out, I'm going to continue getting people like Walrus to build amazing things. And we're going to do some amazing stuff. So with that said, Walrus, you and Battleaxe, you guys are going to be working with me on Whaletank as well, right?
Yes. I believe Battleaxe was going to be primarily hosting Whaletank, and she's going to be doing the announcements on her Steam account, I believe, if I'm correct on that.
Yeah, I'm going to be wearing a lot of hats and helping however I can. So, yep.
We're going to have an amazing time. We're going to have anybody who has whales, who they would like to get some Steam power loaned to them, and they would like, or they are a whale. We would urge you to consider making your own token, and maybe even giving a little bit of Steam power to, what is it, the WhaleShares token is the one that you're going to use, correct, Walrus? The one that I made?
Yeah, it'll be my Steam which is JP Henderson. I'll post a link to that here in the text chat.
Yeah.
P-Funk had a question. I don't think that was addressed.
I miss them sometimes.
No, it's okay. It's just up just a little bit. 11:42.
I don't think that. The question is, what about the potential for vote buying to reduce the demand for Steam power? And if anything, I think it'll increase the demand for Steam power because people will want to hold on to their power so they won't have to power down to
get value.
To get value out of their Steam power, so they'll want to hold it more. And then the more Steam power you have, the more you'll be able to sell it. So I would actually think that it would increase the demand for Steam power.
I'll tell you what my intent is, Walrus. As a whale, my intention is I'm going to take a percentage of what I earn as Official Fuzzy, and I'm going to continue powering it up on my Fuzzy Vest account. And people are going to know that a percentage of whatever I post and I earn is going to get powered up into that token. So they're going to know that there's always going to be an increase based on what I earn. So they're going to want to upvote me a lot. So I've created this feedback loop for my token, and now I can pass it out to people, right? Like you, because I'm going to give some to you. Of course, I'm going to give some to you, right? I'm going to give some to Battle Axe. I'm going to give some to various people who have been helpful through the entirety of Beyond Bitcoin. And then we're going to give them out at Whaletank Hangouts. Now, that's my value proposition. Other people might come up with a different one. But yes, vote delegation. But a free market based around it. And ironically, these are votes in like a social network. So I don't think that there's a single law about it. If you can buy a person's vote on a social network, I guess I don't think there's a law about it. So I think we're pretty good on that front too.
Judging from my experience with social networks, that's one of the things that happens when you have, likes and I don't know, upvotes and whatever. There's quickly becoming a market for subscribers, for likes and stuff like that. And but it's usually a little shady. But this is much more transparent and stuff.
Well, the cool thing to me is that we are creating synergy at the same time between BitShares and Steem, right? And potentially any other Steem clone that exists. I'm assuming, would be relatively easy to even add on someday or have another service that's similar for it. Would you say that that's correct, Walrus?
Yeah, it should be pretty easily adaptable. Or I could easily do it anyway.
Well, so if that's done, even if it isn't, this is a great funnel into BitShares for those people who are really going to be organizing communities.
Yep. And I'm not sure how familiar people are with ShareBits on here, but we're going to be integrating with that too, so that'll help funnel people into Steemit as well.
Yeah, it's nice, man, whenever I have some devs that are like core devs, and I can't wait to get it to the point where you guys are not eating ramen noodles and building things and making gold at the same time, right? Like I think this is where we're going, and you guys are starting to see. I mean, are you guys all seeing this altcoin pump right now and the Bitcoin pump?
Oh yeah,
and
until we're gonna get more.
And the crazy ICOs, yeah.
It's insane, man. It's going to be like a tulip bubble, right? Like it's going to go crazy. This is like just the start. I think that the ETF thing with the Winklevosses is what's really starting some of this, like the pump in Bitcoin. And I think that there's a potential big crash that can come from this sugar rush too. But damn, guys, we're going to be building this. Like what we're building right now, these are the highways that are connecting up these mega cities called Steemit and BitShares, and then God knows what we're going to do with PeerPlays. But like Walrus said, we're going to have the ability to tip these tokens very easily across the web too, using ShareBits. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's helping, man, and who's been here through this entire process. It hasn't always been easy. But we're getting it. We're getting it.
We have a pretty clear vision of what we want to do with the ability to build highways like that.
You see it too, right?
We've been thinking about that since, I think, late December, early January. But it's something that we'll start working on once we finish the DEX, and it's not something I'm going to talk about in any near future. We like to talk about things that are close to, to that we at least are builders. We don't like about things that are like, oh, it would be so nice to have. We do talk about them between ourselves, but
yeah, that's kind of like the line to walk, right? And I talked to Walrus quite a bit about this exact same thing with what we were doing, because it was just coming hot off the heels of Fadat taking that money and really not building. I'm not going to lie. He didn't really build much of anything.
Built a
and
bunch of
I won't get into,
excuses. He built a bunch of excuses, and that's about it.
I'm
Yes.
gonna bite my tongue on that one.
Well, at that time, Walrus was wanting to talk about it with the community because we were both really pumped up about it. And I said, well, I think maybe it's best that we hold off until we have something because of the current situation. And then I kind of like explained what was going on. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah. I can see where you're coming from. So one thing I've learned, though, from this myself, because I'm not going to lie, everybody here, we have learned lessons in the crypto space. It's in some ways it's like real world, and in some ways it's not. And it's like a mesh between the two, right? But one of them is don't go crazy paying a bunch of money to somebody until they've finished the project completely. Have escrow, which thank you, Richard Krill, for bringing up escrow feature on Steam again today, by the way.
Okay, there's a couple of other things we had mentioned, like you were talking about powering up the accounts. What I'm going to be doing is taking a good percentage of the money made from this, powering up my account, and
yes, go ahead, continue.
And I'm also going to be running for a witness, and a good percentage of the money that makes too will be going to powering up the account. And we have a lot more projects that we're going to start working on after this too. So,
should I laugh, Walrus? Should I chuckle deviously?
That was kind of an understatement, that's for sure.
Oh man, it's going to be insane, everyone. I think that we are here for not a once-in-a-lifetime event, but how often do world currencies all just like completely transform? I don't know how often that is, but
we're in it now, and it's only going to get stranger and stranger.
I think it's more than just about world currencies. It's more about society in general, and the currencies are just one of the common institutions that are part of what people are used to. It's what they say in all those Hollywood movies about apocalypse. That's the end of the world as we know it. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it's not just all destructive. It's really, there's a lot of construction that just almost transforms the world in front of your eyes.
That's a misconception of the apocalypse. The apocalypse is the fast-forward avalanche of information, which is what we're fast approaching. That's a much better way to understand it. It's more positive than negative. I'll throw that out there.
Are you talking about the Borg now, VG?
I'm talking about much. I gotta run. I don't have much time right now, but I might be back.
Well, what do you guys think that we should call the Whaletank panel? Any thoughts?
That sounds a good name. As far as I'm concerned, Whaletank sounds great.
Yeah. Are you guys ready? Do you guys have whales that you can bring on board? Are you guys ready for that?
Who are you asking that, Fuzz?
Well, there are some people here who are deep in the BitShares ecosystem. There are other people who are pretty deep into the Steemit ecosystem. Many of them have connections with whales. Some of them are whales. So I'm trying to get kind of if you don't want to say it out loud here, you can of course PM me. But I'm trying to get a gauge of if there's anybody who wants to either A, create their own token, or B, would be interested in backing our tokens.
And that brings me to a question that somebody had way earlier, but I hadn't gotten to it yet. My next Steemit post will be announcing the whale signups and pre-sale of the token. That'll be sometime in the next few days, probably. So that'll be coming around soon.
Oh, Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus. Well, I guess with that said, Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say, Battle Axe?
No, just when you're like, sweet baby Jesus. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
you have to have
baby
some
Jesus
humor
was
sometimes.
a cute baby.
I bet she's a super, super cute baby.
Guaranteed. Now, with that said, I guess we are probably a little bit actually over, it looks like, actually, on this segment of the Hangout. I'm a little bit biased toward this one, so I apologize on that, everyone. However, I guess this is a good time to say that we look forward to seeing you next week. Please support our efforts and the efforts of those who are coming on here to provide transparent updates and answers to questions that are brought up by the community regarding their projects, because trust is gold. Actually, it's probably more than gold. So with that said, please consider helping these people by either upvoting them on Steemit, sharing their content, or any of the various unique value propositions that you yourself bring. The Beyond Bitcoin community is open for everybody to join up and create a synergistic relationship where we can not only help the blockchain technology and other disruptive technologies grow and emerge as the winners in the race for the future, but we can also make a little bit of money in the process to support building what we would like to see for the future. So with that said, welcome to the Beyond Bitcoin Crypto Guild, and I look forward to many, many more of these hangouts with you. It's time for the after party. Xanox, you have a project that you're going to be talking about, and you work with the RuDex on BitShares, right?
Yep. The thing is, we are a group of blockchain enthusiasts, and I remember that several episodes ago, Dima here, if you look at the list, you'll see Dima, he talked about our project. And what I want to say is that by working on those projects, we were kind of forced to start doing a Russian version, Russian entry point into the BitShares ecosystem, and we are also supporting all the different graphene-based projects and other projects that are feature decentralization and governance into them. So that means all the graphene-based chains and stuff that Dan is doing. So we are all looking into those projects. I also like Viva a lot, but we are not really cooperating much with them yet. I hope that might change. But the thing is, we support all the. We have, I think, a chat room for all the graphene-based projects. We are moderating on the Steam one. That's a little. They are a little underused, but on the BitShares channel, there's like 462 people. I checked like maybe a couple of minutes ago. We are also created the Ruble MPA and that we like to call BitRubble, and that's funny because there's a big company here that we're working on something called BitRubble, and they are been doing that for like 2 years, and they're still not. They're saying that it's pushed back and stuff, and we're like, we just. Several people with no resources, and we did that. Thank you, BitShares. Also, in St. Petersburg, we've contacted people and bought a crypto ATM machine, and soon we'll do branding and place it somewhere. So you'll be able to buy BitShares, BitRubbles, and some other cryptos that you can buy on the DEX via an ATM in St. Petersburg. What else? and once we finish, shaping up the our DEX version and move it to the maintenance mode, we'll move on to some other projects that are going to feature both BitShares, Steam Golos, and PeerPlays, and maybe some other things. But that's probably it. If you are planning to have a project that has to do with I think that Chris left, but we are also looking to be to do the ambassadorship for BlockPay, and maybe with PeerPlays. I think we are talking with them, and I hope you guys consider us. And I think we were partially responsible for OpenLedger opening a thing in Russia, and that's the guys that we've got the crypto ATM from. They are they partnered with OpenLedger, and we are working with them a bit as well. Lately, I've been also doing some talks on the decentralized exchanges and BitShares in general, and I think people expect me to do some talks in future months. But I've also been working a lot of. There were a lot of response from the different IT companies and other rich people here, and they were like, please come and tell us about this technology, and we are looking to use the integration. So things that Fabian is working on, the uptick and pivot shares and stuff like that. That's really great. A lot of people are already looking into it after talking with me. So that's one of the things that decentralized autonomous companies is, that you can invest in one and start building projects on top of it, and your own actions actually are one of the factors that moves the price. I think that's one of the best, investment strategies that there are around.
Invest in yourself.
And I mean, I hope that my efforts and the efforts of all other people who worked with BitShares, Steam, and stuff like that help to people to understand what's happening, because with this rapid change from what people are used to, what sprung around Bitcoin, the ecosystem that sprung around Bitcoin, it's pretty much underwhelming. I mean, like all those legacy type businesses, all the centralized exchanges, all stuff like that. It's just kind of people trying to use familiar, I don't know, memes, tropes to do stuff in unfamiliar landscape, and a lot of that doesn't work. And until enough people get educated on that and understand that things like that don't work, a lot of people are going to lose their money, and a lot of changes that everyone is hoping for are not going to be for the better. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I am doing this, and that's, I think, why the reason behind Beyond Bitcoin and stuff like that. So thank you, and if you have any questions, I'll gladly answer them.
Well, I urge you to continue before we go into that area. to continue working on all this. This is, and provide us updates as well, because we can work on getting you an opportunity to talk, especially in the BitShares ecosystem, so we can continue moving in this direction. Now, with that said, do you have any? I believe you guys have a witness that you guys are working on.
We have a witness on Steam. There's thank you, Apple Priest, for the link in the chat. We also applied for a witness in BitShares. We had the infrastructure there for our service operation for last, I think, 3 months, but we've announced the witness proposal like this week, I think, last week. I think this week. Well, we've been working that on the weekend, so it's probably this week. I think it was Tuesday or something like that.
It was this. Yeah, it was. I think it was a couple days ago, maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah. So if you are a proxy, or if you are doing your voting yourself, we'll be glad to receive your upvotes and your support. That would help us. There's also several things I can't talk about because they haven't happened yet, and that would be a little, premature. But if you listen to what I was saying in the after parties, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Well, honestly, I don't have a whole lot of questions other than making sure that you guys get funded, because I've been paying attention to you guys, and it's, well, at least the stuff that I can read. I'm not going to lie. Some of it I can't read. Xanox. But with that said, I really do support what you guys are doing in the ecosystem, because it's nice to see more intelligent people who see what's going on and what needs to be fixed actually working on that. And it also really makes me happy to see those people get paid. I'm not going to lie, that's probably one of the best portions of it, is to see them actually get something that they deserve for the work. So I'll see if Xerox is voting for you. He's my proxy because he's basically deep into BitShares.
I think that he is, because in our witness thread, he left kind of this plus 5% thing or something like that.
Yeah, I'd imagine he
maybe
would. Yes, guys, Xerox is definitely one of the men. There are what I call BitShares All-Stars, and there's an ever-growing team now. And it's funny because I've been here since like the very beginning, so I've been here to see the entire growth curve, the ups and downs of it. And man, there have been some times that really shook some believers, but we're starting to see a lot more initiatives come up too, right? And we're starting to see like things like RuDex is another one. Actually, before we go too deep into this though, Xanox, how do people reach out to you if they want to help you guys, if they would like to work with you guys on this, if they'd like to support you in any way?
Well, we have a Telegram channel, and that's probably the easiest way to contact us in Telegram. We are all, kind of Telegram addicted. But I was actually really looking forward to what Ken is working on the Echo. But still, you could probably talk to us. We are all present in BitShares channel. My nickname is the same as here. It's Xanoxt, Xanoxt, and then we have Anatolia, and then we have blockchain. You can use it blockchain, and then you'll be able to reach Dima. So you should probably talk to maybe one of us three. We have some other people working with us, but we are probably main contact points. If you want to cash in or cash out rubles for BitRuble, you should talk to Anatolia, and we are still working on automating the process, and it's a little bit away, unfortunately, but we'll see what we can do. Our main developer is currently away on a what do you say? He's actually in USA on a work thing with his main employer. Actually, forgot the word for that.
So you have a decentralized little team.
Yep, we are all over the world.
Man, I love it.
Yeah, that's actually how it happened. We are a decentralized team, and we were looking into automating things so we don't actually have to trust each other, and that's how we started researching BitShares, and then one thing led to another, and so on.
When you do your research, Xanox, that's what happens in this space. Sadly, most people don't do much research.
Yeah.